So Castor is going to be working on his backup and doing a little bit of lunging. So I'm just going to ask him to back up with a little rope wiggle, and he does awesome. It barely even gets to the halter. I love that. He looks great with his rope wiggle. I don't do a ton of that. He does know different cues for the backup, but it's just a good handy one to have around and make sure that he's responding to it, and he looks great. He looks awesome responding to that. But I'm going to do a little bit of lunging with him today. So when I voiced over these videos, this one's almost 2 years old at this point. So I'm not going to be doing the same exact things that I do in training now that I did then, but I think it's important to show because the whole process is this big journey of, training. So there's good things and there's bad things. And so, yeah, I've changed what I do now. But so right now, I'm just asking him to lunge around. He actually looks very nice. He has a really great bend. His walk and trot looks great. It's when he gets to the canter where he gets kind of tense. So if I would go back and do that today, I would use the around the round pen and shape it with a target. At the time, I didn't know about it, so I didn't really know how to use one. So I was just kind of adding in my positive reinforcement to negative reinforcement, and that's the whole journey with the Mustangs was figuring this stuff out. So I kept it in because I thought it was important, and if you want to kind of do crossover stuff or you're just trying out positive reinforcement, this is the way to do it. So, but I'm just gonna ask him to go, and he responds so nice. He's so light on the halter rope. I love all of that. I'm holding it up a little bit higher because I don't want the rope to get caught on the mounting block. I should have moved that out first, but in the beginning, I wanted to have a little bit of a buffer just in case, but it kind of got like as far as the mounting block goes, but it kind of got in the way more than it helped. So that just kind of depends on your situation. It kind of helped with Atlas, but not so much with Castor. But he knows to just bend, like when I'm kind of picking up that driving whip and kind of picking up the lead rope. And then I just asked him there with the lunge whip to go into the trot, and then I also have a voice cue and he had a really nice trot transition, really nice back up here. He looks great, honestly. Like, really, I think the only downfall I would say from this method of teaching lunging is he's really tight in the canter. I probably could have fixed that through here too, but I ended up just going with the around the round pen route. I like that better. Um, so if I would reteach it, I would start around the round pen and then add in the lead rope afterward. I think there'd be a lot less tension because you don't have to do this like where I'm desensitizing here to the rope. You don't have to do all that, and you don't have to activate that flight. You're activating seeking because the seeking system is what happens when the horse is following something. They want to investigate. They want to follow it. Here, like, and with negative reinforcement, like you're activating the flight system. So there's inherently going to be a little bit of tension in there all the time, and his just shows up at the canter. He just likes to run into it, but right now, like he looks quite good. I like where he's at as far as his transitions. He's a little tense there with the desensitizing, which is normal because I'm asking him to go forward with that whip and then going ahead and touching him with that, and he's like, oh my gosh, should I go forward? But that's the other thing about negative reinforcement and like he needs to differentiate between the two cues. I don't want him afraid of the whip, but the whip does cause flight, so you're always balancing the two of those things. I love this bend here. Looks great. And he goes right into the trot there. So my cues are going to be, I lift up see there you can see him get into that canter and he kind of just runs into it. I don't love that. It could be much worse, but I would like him to be more relaxed. But my cues are just lifting up the lead rope. Then I have my voice cues and then I use the driving one. So let him hang out here. He definitely needs a lot of standing and relaxing. I also didn't do enough of that. So I should have done more standing and less going forward, and that probably would have helped as far as relaxation with the cantering goes as well. I asked him to stop there. He's quite good at that. That can be tough as well with just lunging because you do a lot of hindquarter yields, so getting them to stop straight and parallel to you can be difficult because they always want to yield their hindquarters and face up to you, which is a lot easier using the around the round pen. So, but he's quite good at that. I also did some target lunging as well. So if you don't have around the round pen, you can do that as well. I forgot to mention that, but you can just have a target and have them follow it. You don't need the around the round pen. That just kind of offers you just another level of like safety. You have a little bit of protected contact. So I'd recommend one, but you don't have to have one. I love that bend. I love that trot transition. And I worked on a little bit of this where which you've seen last time, where he goes around and I can touch him with the driving whip and he's not worried about it at all. And there he kind of got stuck on that mounting block. So yeah, it kind of got in the way more than anything, but I loved his reaction to it. He felt that pressure and he just faced up. So I love that. He didn't panic or anything. That was a nice transition. So I kept this in because overall it looks really nice. There's its weak points, there's its strong points, but if it's something you want to use, it's definitely a decent method. I just prefer the target now. So, but it could work, and especially if you have a horse that's purely negative reinforcement and you want to start adding in some positive reinforcement, this is the way I would be doing it at first. If you don't want to jump all the way in and just have the round pen or just follow the target, that's what happened to me, because I was like, follow a target around the round pen, what is this? So you can see that tension there. He does go into a decent canter, but he has quite a bit of tension, so I want to get rid of that tension and be more relaxed.